beneath the stars, beneath the moon, a child is born, the one we've waited for, waited for. Oh, could it be the Lord of all eternities, lying here in his mother's arms? Could this be Emmanuel? Could this be the King of Kings? Could this be the start of the story we've been waiting for?
Hey, good to see everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. We got Lloyd and Dana here. We're so excited for the release of this project. Why don't you guys go ahead and say hello? I think everybody knows who Dana is, but
Hey,
Hey guys,
what's up? How's it
welcome to our
going?
release party.
This is gonna be fun.
I'm so excited. Yes, I think we'll jump right in. I guess we'll do a little bit of an intro before we jump in. For those of us joining, you can comment, you can like, share, of course. We'd always appreciate that. But let us know if you have questions. We'll be doing a little bit of conversation in between the songs. We're going to do the first song, then a behind the scenes video. Then we're going to come back online and kind of talk to you guys a little bit and kind of connect. So the first song is going to be "O Come All Ye Faithful." We're so excited about this. I'm pretty particularly, I'll talk a little bit about before we post it, is they did a nice little twist to it. And so we'll have to ask them about that afterwards, whose idea that was or how they came up with that little twist. But so be looking out for it. It's a traditional version of it, but with just a little twist. So let's jump in. Tim's going to be doing it.
Come, all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. Come ye, oh, come ye to Bethlehem. Come and behold him, born the King of angels. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him, Christ the Lord. Let us adore him. Sing, choir of angels, sing in exultation. Sing, all ye citizens. to thee be glory given. Word of the Father, now in flesh appearing. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him, Christ the Lord. Let us adore him. Come, all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. Come ye, oh, come ye to Bethlehem. Come and behold him, born the King of angels. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him, Christ the Lord. Let us adore him. Sing, choir of angels, sing in exultation.
Okay, cool. So that was fun seeing that. Oh man, it feels like such a great moment to be finally. We got the release. We got it on Spotify, iTunes. So let's walk back. I'm trying to remember the first time we talked about this. It was because it changed a lot, right? So it was like, let's do a Christmas concert. When do you remember the first conversation we talked about it? Because I feel like we talked about it many times, but yeah.
Father, I don't think people understand how full of ideas you are. So they have to, the public has to know. It's ridiculous. I'm a creative person, Lloyd's a creative person, but like you have so many ideas. It's just all the time and I love it. And so I don't even, honestly, Father, I do not remember when we first started talking about this. Was it just this summer? Like,
No, it was before that. Because
was it before?
It was.
You know?
I heard about it way after summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we did it. We did it in September. But you were the one, Father, that was like, it'd be really cool to do a Christmas record, and then we whittled it down to an EP, something that we could do somewhat easily. I mean, it took a lot of work, but I don't exactly know. But it definitely started with you, Father.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of it was we were bringing for you for those Christmas holy hours, which we're going to do again this year, maybe a little tuned down at St. Peter's, which everybody always loved. And so I would hear you like singing those Christmas songs. I was like, man, I think doing these would be a huge hit. I think, and people have already responded well. Because we accidentally posted to Spotify early. So some of you might have already seen it on Spotify, but you can go right now to Spotify afterwards and let us know what you think. But yeah, talk us through whose idea was it to do that little creative flair? How did that go? I've never heard the story behind that. With
Lloyd, do you remember? Like, I remember writing it in that studio.
Yeah. Well, I think we had talked about. Well, first of all, this whole thing came together. I don't remember when, Father Ian, you called me, but I remember you basically said, "All right, look, here's what I want to do. Can we do it by this date?" And it was such a quick turnaround. I was like, "Well, really, we should have been doing this back in June, But so it was like I feel like the whole process was like, yeah. I mean, you would throw out these big ideas, like as Dana was saying, you have these grand visions, and you throw out these ideas, and I would think, I don't know, nobody's ever really asked me that, but I think we could, So the whole time, the whole thing coming about was just one step after the other of going like, I guess so, and it just kind of kept working out, and so. Yeah, I'm really excited about tonight. But to answer, I forget where I should backtrack. But your question
was just that little. It was like that little.
Yeah, the hook.
But what you're saying is great, by the way.
Well, so I mean, Dana and I, the whole time we were talking, like, well, do you really want to make a Christmas album? I mean, like, I have so much respect for these classic, songs that it's like, it's been done so well before that, like, how can you really top it by doing the same thing? And Dana, just has a thing about her, like her music. When we work together, it's like, I know what Dana, like, there are just things in her toolkit that are different, and so it's like, well, if we can do this however we want to do it, then why don't we make it kind of more like what you would do, instead of just trying to make it how it's been done. And we were just in the studio, we were working through the pre-production, and it was just like, let's just go into some chant. I want it to feel like church. If we're trying to make this thing feel like we're in an intimate setting together, let's make it more communal. And we talked about having background vocals and stuff, and that was just kind of difficult to make work, in the pandemic. So ended up just being like a call and response lyric. And it just worked out. I thought it was a cool, I don't know how we came up with it. I think we just threw out words around.
Yeah. I think it was really great because Lloyd always, like, sometimes I'll be like, oh yeah, this is fine. This is whatever. And then Lloyd's like, I'm not sure, Dana. Like, I think like we need more, like, this is not fully you, which is so great to have people that you work with that like almost know you better than yourself. And so we were playing around on this song. We were just going through the songs, remember that day, like what songs do I want to do for this EP? And we were playing around, I think, with our friend Taiwan. He was like on the keys too. And then Lloyd was like, I think we should probably like write something extra for this and make it more me. And you're like, yeah, just like play around with it. And I remember I started singing whatever the first little hook was, that's different. Let us adore him. And then it went from there. And Lloyd and I, for me, like, Lloyd is my favorite person to write with. And so I feel like it was somewhat easy from there because we just played off of one another, and it came about pretty quickly. I think this was the first song we worked on too, maybe. And so, yeah, I'm really happy with how it turned out. I really love this song. I love the way it was produced, the way Lloyd did this, and the way we wrote together on it. It feels much more me than originally. So,
Heck yeah, it was awesome. Let's jump into the second song. And by the way, all these songs were recorded live. When you're watching the video, that's actually us recording. So we recorded the videos while Dana was recording the songs. So let's get into the next video.
Beneath the stars, beneath the moon, a child is born, the one we've waited for, waited for. Oh, could it be the Lord of all eternities, lying here in his mother's arms? Could this be Emmanuel? Could this be the King of Kings? Could this be the start of the story we've been waiting for years? Could this be Emmanuel? Could this be the Prince of Peace? Away in a manger, treated like a stranger. Oh, for me, for all the blind and all the lost, for all the broken, he has come for us, come for us. He is the light to guide the way. Humanity will never be the same, be the same. Oh, could this be Emmanuel? Could this be the King of
This is unique and fun, and we're just doing what we do. And these musicians are awesome. Dana's amazing. The video crew is killing it. And we got Christmas trees happening everywhere, and so far so good. I'm loving how it's happening. So here we go.
Oh, could it be?
So far, Dana and the band has been sounding fantastic, and I think it's going to look and sound great once we're finished up. So.
Lying here in his mother's arms.
Great. Just out here recording this music, getting ready for Christmas time. It's going great. It's been a joy so far. Yes, sir.
Could this be the start of the story?
It's going well. This is actually really, really fun. Christmas in, is it September right now? Christmas in September.
What's your favorite thing about Christmas?
Jesus being born, yeah. And the presents. And my family. All together.
I can't dance at all.
And all the lost, for all the broken.
Get camera on camera.
Splitting the space-time continuum right now.
He is the light.
One of my dreams is to bring that beautiful, like, high-quality music to the Catholic world. And working with Nashville, working with Lloyd, working with you, Britt, working with all these folks, I'm learning so much, and it's just exciting. So I'm glad I'm able to do this and help out the way I can.
Could this be Emmanuel? Could this be the King of Kings? Could this be the start of the story?
Fun watching the behind the scenes a little bit, isn't it? Oh, maybe can you guys hear me?
Yeah. It's making me nostalgic. Which happened
fun.
just a couple months ago.
That was
And the
such
best
fun.
part was for us, we were traveling in a van together. So it was me, Tim, Nick, and the photographer, Caitlin. And we stayed in an Airbnb. It was fun. We have lots of stories with Airbnbs. But Dana, tell us a little bit, what was your writing process for Emmanuel? Because you actually wrote this years ago, right? Or
I wrote this. Yeah, it was really cool just watching this back because, like seeing something that has been just like waiting, like on standby for like years now come to fruition is pretty crazy. It's funny because I'm very like nostalgic right now because I think it was a few years, like 2 or 3 years ago, I was going on a Christmas tour with Josh Wilson, which was like a guy I grew up listening to on the radio. And we were doing a Christmas tour and they're like, okay, got to play Christmas music. And I really didn't play Christmas music at that point. I had I'd never written Christmas music. I hardly, maybe I did stuff in Greenville with you guys, but I was like, okay, I got to learn these like Christmas songs. But as a songwriter, my favorite thing to do is to sing my own songs. And so like these songs, where I'm expressing myself. And so it was the night before the tour. And I was like, maybe I should write a song. And so I just sat down. I was like, okay, come Holy Spirit. Like, what does Christmas mean to me? Or what do I want to say about this? Because you grow up listening to Christmas music. I mean, every single person that celebrates Christmas does that, even some that don't celebrate Christmas. And so I was like, what is a Christmas song to me? And I just sat down, and honestly, I don't exactly remember how it went, aside from the fact that it was just me and my guitar in my room in North Carolina at that point. And within like an hour, I wrote this song, and it just like came out. And it was really beautiful because on the tour too, I realized this was a song that was very easy for people to like pick up. Once it gets to the chorus, it's very easy to remember. And then I play it every single year in Greenville at our Advent Holy Hour, and people sing along, and it's so beautiful when people are singing along to something you've written. And so now it's like here, and people can listen for forever, and I'm really excited about it. And Lloyd brought it to life so beautifully too, because I mean, when you have a song that you've had for forever and you just play it on the guitar, it's really hard sometimes to think about what it'll sound like produced. And so I'm really glad that we had Lloyd on this project, and you brought it to life. So,
well, you always make it easy because whenever you bring in an idea, it's like even if you just play it on guitar and it's like, okay, I can picture what's happening all around you. It's just the way you write is just, it's easy to make things happen. So
Yeah, thank you.
it was fun.
It was fun. And I really like looking back at that day, it is crazy that we did what we did. I'm not sure if people understand, like, it is insane. First of all, how quickly this all came together, but recording something live. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
think people understand how much goes into a live performance when you go to a concert. I mean, you have in-ears in, you're listening to a click track, everybody's playing to the same track. Like, so when we were recording, I mean, what I'm hearing in my ears is way different than what everybody's hearing on the outside. Like, Father, you were saying, I can't hear really anything. You're like, except for me singing and like the people that we had
And the kick
with
drum.
us. Yeah, and the kick drum. That's about it. Everything else was in our ears. I don't think people realize that, but that's just like a little look into the behind the scenes of how we did this. And just getting a vocal take, it's very hard.
Yeah, with Tim, next time I'm going to have an in-ear too, so I can.
Yes.
Yeah, you should. Well,
you
it was
really
funny.
should.
Well, going into it, it was funny because, I knew that we were going to have a video recorded to everything happening musically. So I couldn't just think about what I wanted to happen. Like, oh, it'd be cool to have, horn section. But, if you have like a blaring guitar solo and there's no guitar player in the video, then it seems silly. So, but like the day before we were recording, we had 2 drummers had to back out in a row who couldn't make it. So I had to call Thomas Dove last minute, like the day before, day of, I think, and just said, listen, hey, I've got all these parts pretty much laid out. I have pre-production tapes recorded because, again, I knew we were recording a video. So I knew that the drummer had to look like he knew what he was playing, So so the whole thing was just like, well, I hope these are good ideas. And I'm just kind of relying on these musicians to like dumb it down or make it better than what I've attempted to do. And so it totally, like the day of, like you're saying, Dana, it's like you just show up and it's like, well, I hope everybody does their job and well, because you're just relying on so many people, and they just killed it. And it was just amazing, just playing, like, I feel like, I mean, I wasn't playing anything, but listening to you guys and kind of like just directing a little bit and just feeling like, man, I feel like we're playing something together. And that's I think a big goal of the project overall was just to feel like, it's a communal effort.
Yeah.
And feeling.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it was, I mean, I remember that day of, it was such a fun place to be. I think everybody we were just having fun.
Yeah.
I was just sitting behind the camera the whole time, but just a stationary camera. But I felt, I could just feel in the room that people were really enjoying themselves. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Hey, I want to we have a few comments. So here's the crazy thing. Our comments so far are only priests on YouTube. So that's a change up. Thanks, guys. Well, I think Jim Grogan and Father Edward Looney. So
I know those guys.
Yeah. So Jim Grogan says, so hearing Emmanuel just changed my homily for tomorrow, the first Sunday of Advent. Could this be Emmanuel? Could this be the King of Kings? Could this be the start of the story? So he's going to quote you. And be sure to drive the traffic towards Spot. No, just kidding.
Yes, Father. Say they can go listen
free advertising.
on Spotify.
Now, Father Edward Looney, how do you know him? I know. I mean, I've seen him on social media.
Father, I don't even know. I think it was just online. I think we've spoken through email and stuff a few times, and he's written different articles. And so, hey, Father, hope you're doing well.
That's awesome. Yeah, because I've seen him a lot online too, and I was very it's awesome to have him following us.
Yeah.
So he said, that's great, Father Jim. Oh no, Father Jim Grogan before. I heard of Dana 4 years ago and love her music. And then Father Jim Grogan said, I agree. I met her 2 years ago when she came to my new parish. She said Jen Fulwiler show, but let me see. And
yes.
Was the on the Jen Fulwiler show?
I was I was on the Jen Fulwiler show a few years ago on Sirius XM. I forgot about that. Yeah. But yeah, hi, Father Grogan. I go to New Jersey usually every year when it's not coronavirus times. And so, yeah, that was actually, I think, one of the last places I was before this whole year went crazy. So, yeah, thank you for tuning in, guys.
Where do you guys remember where you were the week before the lockdown?
Oh, gosh.
You were doing shows. I was doing talks on Last Things. Heaven, Hell. Tim was with me.
That's so funny.
You know, I think I was actually supposed to play guitar with Sarah Kroger in like DC or something, and I remember texting her saying, "I don't think this is going to happen," and they're like, "No, I think we're going through with it." And the day of, I think, or the day before, they're like, "Yeah, like the CDC or somebody like official had to come in and shut the whole thing down." So
That is insane. That
Yeah.
seems like a decade ago. I was in Nashville. I had just like come back from like a month on the road. And so I was in like New York and New Jersey, which is crazy because I feel like that's where things got really, really insane early on. Yeah. And then everything just like completely changed.
yeah,
Wow.
Which
We'll
is
talk-
also another reason why it's so beautiful that we were able to do this in the middle of all the chaos of 2020. I for one am like super grateful to be able also to work with all of my friends, like people in Nashville that I'm so close with and people in North Carolina that I'm so close with and I've worked with for so long. It was really cool to come together and do something like this. So
yeah. Well, it felt like, I mean, Father Ian, your vision. I mean, that the whole idea is just to really embrace this medium in this time, and you know, put on something that I think people want to have is like some form of gathering, you know, and this is really a virtual gathering. I feel like even the way that we talked about how you wanted to film the shooting, you know, it felt like, you know, like we want to feel like we're in the middle of the thing.
Yeah.
So, and I just remember thinking that all throughout working on the music, that was the whole goal of this project, and I think that's the main thing that really got me excited. Is like we're embracing this new time that we're in, even if it's temporary or if it, you know, we embrace it forever. I mean, who knows? But I feel like this was really necessary to do for a lot of reasons, and it was really a lot of fun to do.
Agreed.
it was a lot of fun.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I think that's a great transition into our third song. That was a great what you said. I really like that. So let's transition to our third song, and we'll kind of come back in a few minutes.
Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in sin and ever pining till he appeared and the soul felt its worth. A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, for Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining.
We are doing Oh Holy Night. We waited until it got dark, and it's beautiful. I hope I can hit the high note at the end. That's all I'm praying for.
Long lay the world in sin and ever pining till he appeared and the soul felt its worth. A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees, oh, hear the angel voices, oh, night divine, oh, night when Christ was born, oh, night divine, oh, night.
I remember when I was looking at when I was looking at the scene when we were first setting up, I was like, oh wow, this is gonna be cool. It was such a beautiful setup and scene, and we had just had dinner together, and that was kind of fun. It was just a really memorable day. It was really it's kind of funny now you think back on it, all the craziness that would ensue after that. It was like a little bit of a respite. Hopefully that's what people are experiencing a little bit right now. There's a little bit of a respite from all the craziness. Yeah. What was going through your mind when you were watching the videos?
Gosh, I'm just like taken back to a few months ago, when we did that, because I remember we got through with that song, and to me that was the most beautiful visual. When we stepped back in and it was all dark, oh my gosh, it was like heavenly. And I also that's one of my favorite songs on the EP. Even I don't know, Oh Holy Night, I've just grown up with that song, and we didn't even change it that much because it's such a classic that it's like, how do you change it? I just sang it the way that I would sing it. So I was just so excited about that song. But I remember driving home, since I live here, and so it was not that far away, and just saying oh my gosh, what just happened? Yeah, all of this, I'm just so humbled, honestly, that at least just for me, that I get to do this, and I get to do it with people like you guys. And that whole day, it was a long day. Everybody was just so on board and so wanting such excellence for these songs and for the videos. I just remember driving home being I'm really tired. And the next day I was starting my socially distanced Be Brave tour. So I was thinking about that too. But for a moment I was that all just happened. And I was kind of Jesus, of course, is at the center of it. But this music was at the center of it. And I just felt so amazingly blessed. And so I still do. And it's really, months later now. And yeah, it's been a hard year. It's great looking back at that, just being able to do something so beautiful with your friends. Yeah, it was just gorgeous. I loved it.
Yeah, that song, I was the most nervous about that song because it's such a classic, and it's beautiful. It's the perfect song. It's one of the most beautiful songs ever written. And I just thought, man, don't mess this up, because it's you can't make it better than what it's been before. So just make it different, make it unique. Yep. And so we leaned on that. That idea of, I remember doing the bass part and wanting it to feel aggressive but not distracting, and it ended up feeling kind of tribal. I wanted to feel like we were around a campfire, and the way that everybody was lined up in the room, the way they shot it anyway, was everybody was facing each other, and so it was kind of conducive to that feel anyway. And so listen, watching back behind the scenes, just remembering that day, I just remember thinking, man, I took a lot of risks with the arrangement of this song, and I hope I didn't go too far or not far enough or whatever. And so I just remember like kind of anticipating the feeling of hearing musicians play it together for the first time, aside from just what all we'd compiled together, just, piece by piece. And it just felt right. It felt really cool. And I remember just knowing immediately, okay, we're on to something. Like these guys and girls are, they're making something right now. And so it felt very, sacred and very, very much like I don't want to get my hands on too many things right now and mess it all up, So it was just a lot of fun and just a special night. And I really do hope that it translates. I hope that this feels like the videos come across as a very like coming together feeling, and less of a something that you're watching separately.
Yeah, no, that's a good way of summarizing. The whole goal was, because I've talked with you guys about this a lot, is that feeling that you're there, that it's not like you're watching somebody performing something, but you're there with them. You're seeing the behind the scenes. You're seeing the different people, the collaboration, and I tell you, when that day was done, I was like, we did this. I was, it was like, holy cow, it came together, and
seriously.
And now here coming to this moment, it's like, we're still got work to do in terms of behind the scenes stuff, but for the most part, it's done. And you guys rocked it. You guys rocked it. We've already said it was on Spotify. We got some feedback from curators and folks on Spotify. They had no complaints about A Holy Night, and which I think that's hard to do.
Right.
I think because it was even when I was starting to share some of these songs with people, when you mentioned with Christmas music, it's a risk because it is kind of like sacred territory for some people. They've heard this song, so they have a certain expectation. And I think when I'm listening to it, you guys meet the expectation of the song, and it's like you just add a little spice to it, it's like that. Yeah, you just added just a little touch to it that I think gives it a unique little flavor, but not taking away from it. Like if you have different versions of fried rice, and the fried rice has, like my favorite restaurant in Fayetteville has this fried rice that just has a nice little flavor to it. That's different than the other fried rices.
Yeah, well, thank you. I love being compared to fried rice. No, I agree, because it's funny too, because like I've said, Lloyd and I work together often. And so with other songs, I feel like we're always trying to like push the envelope, which is great. And, like do the whole pop, R&B, soul thing. And obviously the soul comes out in these songs. And, but it was really interesting. Like it's interesting now looking back at this whole like finished product, because I think it was a really great balance of making things a little bit more current and very much me, but also keeping the spirit of everything. Because I remember growing up, every single or every other year, my family would have this huge Christmas party in North Carolina. And it was just like a huge thing. And we'd set up my brother and I would help set up before the parties. And it's just like one of the most beautiful memories, some of the most beautiful nostalgic memories that I have. And we would listen to all of this Christmas music. And so I love that this music fits in with all of that stuff that I listen to. And it hasn't strayed too far. It's still classic, but it's just a little bit more me. And so, yeah, I'm really glad to be a part of this project and to have done it with you guys. And I'm excited for everybody to now have this as a soundtrack, like part of the soundtrack to this season, because we're done with Thanksgiving now. It's crazy.
I know, it's exciting. I think that's a good note to leave on. Let's just double check to see if we have any other comments. We had a few people that were just excited to see it. Do you have any other comments, Tim?
Yeah, just great feedback. It's absolutely beautiful. Holy Night's a couple of people's favorites.
Yeah, people said the great job. Holy Night was one of their favorites, and this is we're at the. I guess we're at the finish line for the most part, but we're going to be doing some promoting of it. But so just for those folks who are tuning in, the videos will be available on YouTube, each individual song, without the behind the scenes footage. So you can share that. You can share with friends. We're on iTunes, Spotify. What else? We're on Amazon, distributing to all the major platforms. Whatever, Apple Music, whatever it might be. And
the videos are up now.
The videos are up now, so we got those up. And thank you guys for joining us. And this was so exciting. Thanks, guys. Do you have any
thank
closing
you.
words? Anybody want to close it off? Or
I would just like to say, I mean, just thank you for listening to this music. Thank you to Father and everybody that made this possible, Lloyd. I mean, and the guys that were part of the band. I mean, thank you. And yeah, thank you to everybody listening. The best way to support people like us that are trying to like put out beautiful music and do something beautiful is to truly just share, like grassroots, just share on your Facebook page, share on Instagram, share with your friends, text, like share the videos. Honestly, I mean, that's the way music gets out there, especially these days, when you're like not on a label or anything like that. So please, if you want to just support this and you love this music, just share it on your pages. That's the best thing that you can do to join forces with us with this stuff. So yeah, thank you guys so much.
Amen. Thanks, Dana. So we'll close it with that. Good to see everyone, and good night. Back to the shopping.